morning. Welcome to another edition of Wit and Wisdom at the Lutheran Home. We have a special presentation for you today. I have two guys here. I got Milton and Larry, and they live here at the Lutheran Home. They've been here for about a year now, and so I thought I'd interview them together because they're two gentlemen and they have something in common. They're both from Milwaukee and they both love music, right?
Yeah.
That's right. And so we're just going to go over some old Milwaukee history, and we're going to talk about where y'all came from and what life was like back in your day and all sorts of fun stuff, okay? Okay, so let's start by going over a little bit about yourselves. Larry, can you tell us where you're from?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Milwaukee on the south side in my own home.
In South Side?
On 11th and National.
11th and National.
Yeah, and then all of us children were at home born.
You were what?
We were all born at home. The family doctor delivered us at home.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when I grew up a little bit, I went to special schools for the blind, the sight-saving class and that.
Which one did you go to? Which school was that? What was that called?
I went to Eugene Field School.
Okay.
It's across from St. Patrick's Church.
Oh, okay. And Milton, where are you from?
I'm from Milwaukee, west of Washington Park.
West of Washington Park.
2 blocks. On 49th and Vine, I grew up.
And where'd you go to high school?
High school, Washington High School, and Stuyvesant Junior High School, and Highmount. What would we call it?
Like elementary?
Zero.
Elementary school.
Elementary school.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to think of.
And what year did you graduate from high school?
1947.
Oh my goodness. And what year did you graduate?
1955.
1955. Okay, so you guys both enjoyed the 50s.
Yeah, I did.
You did enjoy the 50s?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and then I went to a couple schools then, you know.
Yeah.
I went to Kosciuszko School,
Okay.
and then when school was over, we used to like to go to the movies like the Majeska Theater.
The Majestic Theater?
Yeah, the Granada, the Alamo.
Was the Majestic Theater, oh no, I'm thinking of the Avalon. But yeah, remember those old movie houses? Those were fun, weren't they?
They had the ushers walk down the aisle.
Yes, and the ushers looked nice, didn't they? They had little hats on.
Yeah, they did.
Do you remember going to the theater, the movie theaters when you were
Oh,
younger?
yes.
Yes?
I went to Uptown Theater, most Uptown, and then there was Tivoli and comedy or comic.
What was the one that was in, on the east side? Oh boy, on Oakland Avenue and North? It's still a theater now.
I'm trying to think now.
Oh, well, anyway, it's beautiful on the inside.
I know quite a few.
Yeah.
Can I mention some of the shows?
Please.
There was Majeska on Mitchell Street, the 11th and Mitchell, you know. The Granada was across the street. The Abbey and the Pearl Theater.
Man.
And then, like I says, on 16th and Greenfield, we had the Alamo, the Mozart. And,
There were a lot of movie houses back
yeah,
then.
and downtown it was loaded with them.
Wow. Do you remember all those movie houses he just talked about?
Well, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I didn't participate.
But you didn't spend all your time at the movies, did you?
No.
I didn't.
Did
either.
you go to sock hops?
No,
Was that actually a thing, or was that just in movies? Were there actual sock hops?
not that I know of. I just remember all the songs we listened to on radio.
Yeah.
WOKY.
I was going to ask you about radio shows, actually.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember any of the old radio shows?
Oh, yes.
Can you name any?
Radio shows.
Do you remember Fibber McGee?
Oh, yes.
And who was Fibber McGee's partner?
Molly.
Molly.
Uh-huh.
And do you remember Little Orphan?
Yeah.
Orphan Annie.
Little Orphan Annie.
Then there was one I remember. She was funny. My friend Irma.
My Friend Irma, do you remember that?
No.
No?
What about Digby Odell and the Friendly Undertaker?
Dibby Odell and the Friendly Undertaker.
I don't think so. I do remember our Miss Brooks, Eve Arden. She played as a teacher or something, and the fellow was the principal.
These are all radio shows.
Yeah.
Were they just in Milwaukee, or were they national?
They probably were national. I don't remember.
Do you remember Baby Snooks?
Yes.
What the heck was Baby Snooks?
It was brought to you by Jello, Jello. Yeah.
Jello. Because everyone has room for Jello.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the Milwaukee radio stations? Like,
Oh, I remember one. I remember a couple on Saturday. We used to like to listen to it.
what's that?
Let's Pretend, Cream of Wheat. It was one about the fairies, you know, like
Let's Pretend.
yeah.
Was it brought to you by Cream of Wheat?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was sponsored by Cream. And then they had Armstrong Circle Theater.
Wow.
Then they had Grand Central Station, brought to you by Pillsbury Mix. If you want something good, get your Pillsbury, you know.
I like all those old ads from
Uh-huh.
the radios. Do you remember something called the Rumpus Room?
I don't think so.
Remember the Rumpus Room?
Yeah.
You do? It was a radio show, wasn't it?
The Rumpus Room. I think the Rumpus Room. What was that?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you remember who Bob Berry was?
I wish I knew now.
Bob Berry? How about Earl Gillespie?
Wasn't he in charge of one of the channels, like channel,
WEMP.
that's it,
Do
yeah.
you remember Earl Gillespie?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't he an announcer for the baseball game?
Yeah.
I
Let's see,
think so.
then another music they had on was Slovenian music.
They had Slovenian music on the radio?
Yeah, they had it on Doris Ivancic. She mentioned all the Slovene, because we're Slovenian. They played polkas, what you requested.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
going to ask you. So polka was a very popular genre of music back in your day.
It was
Yes. In fact, do you remember a man named Frank Ziedler?
Frank Ziegler and Louis Bushell.
Uh-huh. Who were they?
Louis Bushell was the polka man too. He went to school with my mother at Eugene Field.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here, this is a popular little, interesting little piece I found off the internet.
Uh-huh.
It says, in 1948, it was announced that polka dancing was more popular than the jitterbug in Milwaukee. And there was a huge polka dance that was held in downtown Milwaukee where Mayor Frank Ziedler was crowned the Polka King.
Oh, is that right?
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I should.
You should remember that,
Yeah.
but do you? You had just graduated from high school, so you were out gallivanting. You probably didn't pay too much attention
And
to
then
that.
there was Frankie Yankovic too.
Frankie Yankovic has a son named Weird Al Yankovic.
Is he still living yet, Frankie Yankovic?
I don't think so. Or
No.
maybe, I don't know. So let me ask you something. Do you remember what the original Milwaukee baseball team was called?
Milwaukee Braves?
Remember the Milwaukee Braves?
Oh yeah.
And where did they play?
They played in
Milwaukee.
And
Hey, good job, Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Do you remember what the park was called?
the county stadium at that time.
It was called the County
Oh,
Stadium.
okay.
That's right. Did you know that it was called Borchert Field before?
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
It was called Borchert Field
That I remember.
in 1950.
Uh-huh.
And let me ask you if you remember any of these people. Do you remember who Eddie Matthews was?
No, not
Eddie
really.
Matthews. That name is familiar, but
He was a player on the Braves. What about Hank Aaron? Remember Hank?
oh yeah.
I should know him.
He was one of the Braves too.
Yeah.
And let me ask you about the dance halls in Milwaukee. Did you ever go to the dance halls?
Oh yeah. The Eagles.
The Eagles!
The Eagles.
Oh,
Club.
yes.
Did you ever go to the Eagles?
Yes, I was a member of the Eagles.
You were? You were an
Yes.
Eagle?
Yeah, I was a member. Like they had, you could do what you want as a member. Swimming,
Oh, they had a pool in the basement of
Yeah.
the Eagles Ballroom.
Yeah, they had swimming, they had a whirlpool, they had sauna room.
Oh, that
and,
sounds
and
interesting.
a steam room.
At the Eagles Ballroom? Did you know this?
No, I didn't know that.
And then upstairs,
You weren't a member.
upstairs they had the gym where you could play ball.
See, I had no idea. I thought it was just a place where people danced. I had no idea
Oh
that
no,
you could dance and
that's
then
more
go
than
to a sauna.
dancing. They also had the golden gloves there too. The boxing.
They did?
They did. They sure did.
I didn't know that. Well, let me ask you about. Do you know what the original name for the Eagles Ballroom was, though? Before it was the Eagles Ballroom, do you remember what it was called?
No.
It was called the $1 Million Ballroom.
The Millie. I mean, me. I should know that.
Well, you remember.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Isn't that neat? Do you remember any of these other clubs? Because Milton used to play trombone, didn't you?
I sure did.
With which band?
Well, which band? There was a dance band that we played in all the social centers. And social center was usually on weekends, like Friday night or Saturday night. And for $3, you could go to the dance.
$3. $3 to go see live music and dance all night.
Yeah.
That's something.
And then about the shows, like we said before,
Yeah.
I remember when the movies were $1 to get in.
$1 to get in. Do you know how much they are now?
Expensive.
Almost $15, I
Yeah.
think, to go see.
And
No
then we used to,
Yeah.
we used to get our popcorn in at the sweet shop to save money from the show.
Sweet shop. I have notes about a sweet shop.
It's popcorn, candy.
Did you get it from Kerr's Candy? Kehr?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you remember Kerr's Candy? Or there was another place called The Exclusive Company. They sold candy too. Do you remember
Yeah.
that place?
No.
Oh, dang.
and then what happened is, the funny part of it, we got popcorn. I said to my sister, I wonder if she'd let me have a little salt in it. I walked up, I left that show to go out, that coffee thing was right out there, I mean the popcorn shop.
Yeah.
And she says, I can't give it to you. You have to take it where you got the popcorn for next door.
Oh.
Is that something? Yeah.
I know. Well, popcorn costs almost $10 now too.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of these other clubs? Do you remember the Brass Rail?
I think so.
Does that sound familiar? The Brass
It
Rail?
sounds familiar, yeah.
How about the Club Terrace?
No, I don't think so.
What about the Cackle Shack?
Mm-mm.
No.
I remember the clubs we used to go to. There was a Christian center. We belonged to a club there.
Uh-huh.
Once a week we'd have club.
Okay.
Then there was a Goodwill Industries. The Goodwill was right near Mitchell Park years ago.
I love Goodwill.
And I remember when we were kids, we used to march in a 4th of July parade.
The 4th of July parade.
Oh, yeah.
Where did it go?
Down Wisconsin.
Down
Avenue.
Wisconsin Avenue?
Yeah.
Past Gimbals?
Yeah, and all over, and then our place went down to the Mitchell Park Domes. Well, we marched with the schools.
The domes.
There was Eugeneville School,
Yeah.
St. Patty's,
Mhm.
Calgo School.
Do you guys remember who Harry Mayer was?
I wish I.
Henry Mayer?
Henry Mayer. Was he the mayor of Milwaukee?
I believe he was Mayer. I
Yeah.
believe they named the park after him, Meyer Park.
Mhm.
What about Father James Groppy?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know who that was?
Yeah.
He worked for a lot with the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he from St. Vincent de Paul too?
I don't remember, but he started a grocery store in Bayview
Okay.
called Groppy's, an Italian
Mhm.
market. But he was a very popular figure in Milwaukee
Oh,
in
yes.
the late 60s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember all those from the 50s and that. I remember the butcher shops we had too.
The butcher shops, sure.
We had a butcher. He was Slovenian like we are.
Mm-hmm.
He used to cut his own, make the sausage.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
I remember the butcher shops.
And then we had a baker. Then my mother learned how to make patizza, but she couldn't anymore. Patizza is a walnut bread.
Ooh, yum.
With raisins and walnuts.
Ooh,
Then
yum.
she baked apple strudel and cheese strudels.
Oh, wow. That sounds really good.
Uh-huh.
Are your parents from America?
Oh, sure.
Where are they from? Are they from Milwaukee too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What's your heritage?
German.
Did they make a lot of German food?
Oh, yeah.
Did your mom make strudel?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, well, covered that one.
Yeah.
Let me ask you if you guys remember any of these things. Do you remember Renaissance Bookstore?
I think I should.
A very popular bookstore in downtown Milwaukee. Do you remember who Woody Herman was?
Woody
Oh,
Herman,
yeah.
he's, let me think.
He was a musician
Yeah.
from Milwaukee.
I'll be darned.
Woody Herman.
Do you remember any other musicians that were from Milwaukee?
Let's see, where was, the others were all far away. Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Uh-oh.
I wanted to tell you where my mother and dad was born.
Please tell me.
My mother was born in Grafton,
Oh.
and my dad's mother was born in Yugoslavia, in where the Slovenians are, Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
And they made it over here and had a great
Yeah.
life.
Uh-huh.
Hard life, but a good life.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember who Les Paul was?
Oh, isn't she with Mary Ford?
Les Paul was the guitar player.
Oh, because I'm thinking
He
of
was
a
from Wisconsin. How about Spencer Tracy?
I should, yeah.
Remember Spencer Tracy?
I know the name.
He's from Milwaukee. He was an
Yeah.
actor.
Huh.
And the best one, do you remember who that piano player was that was popular in the 50s?
Liberace.
Yes, Liberace. He's from Milwaukee too. He was a real ladies' man, I hear.
He lived in West Dallas.
Yes, he lived in West Dallas, that's
Mhm.
right. And just want to go over a few more things. If you're really from Milwaukee, then you'll remember these things. Do you remember the Milwaukee Clipper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the Milwaukee Clipper?
That's a boat like, isn't it?
Yeah,
That went across to Michigan.
that's right. Good. How about the Belmont Hotel Bar?
Wasn't that downtown?
Yes, that was a very popular place to go.
I forgot where down. I know it was downtown, but I forgot where.
Do you remember the Belmont Bar Hotel or the Belmont Hotel Bar? As a jazz musician, I imagine you spent quite a few nights in these places downtown. The bars and the restaurants and clubs and stuff.
Not really.
Really?
You mean as a patron?
Yeah, after your gigs. When you were done playing music for a social event, did you go out afterward with the band
No.
and pick up chicks? I bet you were a chick magnet playing a trombone in a band, no?
Yes and no.
Mm.
And then
It's pretty coy.
I remember all of our doctors we had.
You remember all of your doctors?
Yeah. Our family doctor, his name was Dr. Herman.
Dr. Herman.
Yeah. Did you know him?
I didn't know Dr. Herman.
Okay, he'd come by the house when we got sick. And then I had the eye doctor.
Mm-hmm.
The first one we tried was Dr. Churchill, then we thought we'd go to Dr. Bach.
Oh, good choice.
Dr. Churchill was above from the grandson,
Oh,
Lyndon Mitchell.
yeah, no one liked Dr. Churchill, right?
No, because sometimes he did. Some people liked him, some didn't.
Yeah, most people didn't like him.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember Old Smokey?
I think
Oh,
so.
Smokey.
Old Smokey?
No.
You don't remember Old Smokey? It was like a little train
Or
car.
maybe I do.
How about the submarine at the end of Russell Street?
Yeah, I think.
Do you remember the submarine at the end of Russell Street?
No.
Oh boy.
And then I heard of the streetcars and
Yeah, the streetcar used to go downtown, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then if you, we lived on 11th and National at that time, and then we got off on 6th and National. We called it the Hinky Dinky.
The Hinky Dinky. I
Yeah.
like that. How much did the streetcar cost?
10 cents we paid to get on.
Yeah. 10
Well, how
cents.
much? 10?
10 cents to get
Oh
on.
my gosh. They have a new streetcar now. The trolley goes downtown and takes people from downtown to the lakefront for all the Summerfest
I'll be
celebrations. Isn't that
Really?
neat? Yeah.
And then let's see, we got, I'm going to cover this up good, make a good one for today. We had the Tompkin ice cream parlor.
Oh.
You remember them?
Do you remember the Tompkin ice cream parlor?
They were on 5th and National.
They were on 5th and National. Do you remember that?
Not too well.
That's okay.
I
It was a
was-
long time ago.
Well, I wasn't much for South Side.
You wasn't much for South Side?
Oh, uh-huh.
No, that's okay. People stayed in their neighborhoods, I feel. Everyone stayed safe in their little
Yeah.
neighborhood.
And then I know most of the songs from the 50s.
Okay,
too.
I was going to ask you, we should wrap up this interview, but I think the way to end it is to do a duet with you guys.
Okay.
Because Larry likes to sing and Milton plays an excellent slide whistle. So let's do that. Let's do our version of Four Leaf Clover.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to start it? I'm looking over a Four Leaf Clover.
Okay.
Can you play it?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to count to 3 and you're going to sing it. Do you remember
Okay.
how it goes?
Yeah.
All right, ready? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I said I used before. First is the sunshine, the second is rain. Third is the roses that bloom in the lane. No need explaining, the one remaining is somebody I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before.
Yay! Well, thank you, Milton. Thank you, Larry. And
Sure.
thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Have a great day. Stay safe. Bye. Wave. Wave.
Bye.
Bye.